We've learned that temperature is a measure of kinetic energy. So for example, if an object has a very high temperature, we know that it has a lot of kinetic energy. The molecules in it are moving a lot. So let's say you take an object, like a tennis ball, and you cool it down until the kinetic energy of the molecules in that tennis ball is zero. There's no motion. The molecules aren't moving at all. What is the temperature of those molecules? What is the temperature of that object? The temperature of that object would be something called absolute zero. So absolute zero is a theoretical temperature. It's something that cannot be reached. Okay? It can't be reached. There's always a way for heat to enter an object. Okay? But if we could get to absolute zero, in theory, the thermometer at absolute zeros would tell us 0 Kelvin, which is the same thing as negative 273 degrees Celsius. So 3 things you got to know about absolute zero. It's a theoretical temperature that can't be reached. If we could measure it, it would be 0 Kelvin, negative 273 degrees Celsius. And number 3, at absolute zero, there is no molecular motion. Molecules are not moving at all. So let's apply that knowledge to a problem. This question asks, you find an object with a sign on it that says, warning, contents are at absolute zero. Write down at least 3 facts that you know about the object based on the sign. Okay? Well, it's at absolute zero. So we know right away that tells us the temperature. This is just something you have to memorize. Think 0. Well, it's got to be 0. And then, is it Kelvin or Celsius? Well, it's always 0 Kelvin. Kelvin can never go negative. The lowest value you can get for the Kelvin scale is 0 because it's an absolute scale. But we do know that this is the same thing as negative 273 degrees Celsius. And we also know what's going on with the molecules at this temperature. The molecules of the object are not moving. No motion. So there's 3 facts that we know about this object right away. So review your notes here for a minute. And then at the next slide, there will be a problem for you to try by yourself. So right now, go ahead and pause the video. Give this problem a shot on your handout. And try doing it without looking at your notes. Alright, if we go over this problem, which of the following are true about an object at absolute zero? Number 1, the molecules in the object are not moving. Number 2, the object is at negative 273 Celsius. Number 3, the object is at 0 Kelvin. Well, at absolute zero, are molecules not moving? That's true. What is the temperature at absolute zero? We just have to have them memorized. It's 0 Kelvin. So number 3 is true. And we also know that's the same thing as negative 273 degrees Celsius. So 1, 2, and 3 are true, so D is the correct answer. If you feel confident with Learning Target 4.5 on absolute zero, move to your iPod on log on to Exit Ticket or on your Chromebook and give the Exit Ticket questions a shot for extra practice.